Hi everyone, welcome back to Cray Travels. Today we are heading to the Drakensburg Mountains. This is our first ever camping trip, so we are very excited. We have wanted to go camping for a long time and we finally decided to make it happen. Plus, we did it all on a budget, which I will share at the end. So this is us heading to the Injusuthi campsite, which is located in the Ukuhlamba Drakensberg Park, which is part of the Maloti Drakensberg Transfrontier Conservation Area. It is also a UNESCO Heritage World Site. Our journey began in Pietermaritzburg. We had gone there for work and we decided to make a stop at Drakensberg as we headed back to Johannesburg. Drakensberg Mountains is located in the heart of South Africa and it's a natural wonderland where adventure awaits and memories are made. The road to the park is not great. You need to take it easy, and in our case, a storm was brewing, as you can see. But our spirits were high. There you can see the storm is coming, but the scenery is beautiful. We stopped every now and again just to take in the scenery. That was quite breathtaking. There you can see my husband on top of the car. After a challenging but interesting drive, we finally arrived at the Injusuthi campsite, which was our home for the next few days. Okay, so on arriving to the Injasuti campsite, we were greeted by a majestic view of the mountain. We were quite excited, and so this is Injasutu campsite. I had made the booking through the Izimvelo KZN wildlife website. The actual process itself was fairly simple. I completed a couple of forms on the website. I got sent an invoice. I paid the invoice. I sent them proof of payment, and that was the process. Very simple, very easy. It is a nice and well kept campsite. Before heading to our campsite, we obviously had to pass through reception just to check in, and this is us at reception. Thereafter, we were then directed to our campsite and we then drove to the campsite. The reception is about 10-15 minutes away from the campsite, and the road leading up to the campsite is quite narrow, but the views are already interesting. This campsite is managed by the Izimvelo KZN Wildlife, and it provides very basic facilities for campers. So the facilities that they provide include ablution blocks with hot showers and toilets. They've got designated areas for campfires where visitors can braai, and the campsites are pretty nice, and I'll talk you through the campsites in a bit more detail later. As you can see, the storm was still brewing, and you can see there behind the mountains that there was a storm brewing there. Okay. We got to the campsite and we set up our tent. So we had not finished setting up the whole campsite, but at this point you can see that we had set up our tents. There you go. We're still busy setting up. We've got our tent, we've got our umbrella, and We've got a nice big campsite just under the trees. The campsites are quite big, and they are demarcated by bushes and trees. You can see there we've got neighbors, but you actually cannot see the neighbors. You can hear them very faintly, but you can't see the neighbors. This is us still setting up, finishing unpacking the car. Okay, now here we were done with all the unpacking and we're just sitting chilling. We had a fire going. I was reading a book. The sun sets. Once it started to get dark, we obviously then prepared our dinner. On this day we had a braai. The rain had stopped for a little bit, so it did give us time to braai and sit outside for a little bit before we called it a night. Good morning. This is our first night at the Inchuba campsite in Drakensburg Maloti Nature Reserve. This is our campsite. And this is our setup. You can see over here we've got our tent, and this is where we slept. Next to the tent is where we parked our car, and outside here is where we've got our braai grid, and obviously this is where we were set up last night for dinner and when we were chilling. It's a very nice campsite. You've got wonderful views. Can you see there? Wonderful views. Wonderful views. You can see that we're set up under a big tree, but wonderful views. The campsite is very spacious. Let me take you to the back so that you can see that it's quite spacious. This is the view from the front. You can see it's got a bin. This is the parking. It's quite bushy, so it's quite private. Over there in front, up ahead, is where we've got the ablution facilities. They're very basic, but they're quite clean and they're nice. This is an empty site next to us, but again, you can see that the views are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The sun is just starting to come out. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. It rained a little bit last night, so it was absolutely lovely to sleep in the rain, to hear the sounds of the rain. There is a river in the background, very nearby here, so it's also very nice because you wake up to the sound of the river, which is a nice sound. The sun is just coming out. This is the view of the mountains. The lighting is perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now we are just setting up our tea and coffee so that we can have coffee. We're using a gas bottle just because it's quicker than trying to make a fire. You can see here, we're just gonna make a bit of coffee to kickstart the day. Yeah, water's almost boiled. Nothing like a nice cup of coffee to start the day. We are now leaving the Drakensburg Maloti Nature Reserve. Just taking a video of the views just to show you the mountains and how beautiful they look. As, as we were leaving and enjoying the landscape, we decided to attempt a filmmaking feat that defies expectation. We placed our camera directly on the road, right in the path of our car. We drove